What's going on, everybody, and also in Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome into Chiefs Comments with Kramer, as I'm yours truly, Kramer Sansone. This is a show that's dedicated to you all. So, if you haven't done so already, please like this video, subscribe. Do not forget to turn on notifications because if you don't turn on the notifications, like I usually say, how you know when we go live? We're live basically daily because of Mr. Ron Hughley. He's the man. But yeah, no, there's so many shows out here on the Foolish Club Media Market to where we love you, you love us. So here's a hug. Here's a virtual hug. I'm wrapping my arms around you right now. Thank you all for tuning in each day for anything and everything that we do around here in these parts of the woods. But we are coming into a straight on. I don't know what type of. What would you classify this game on Saturday? It's the second game from an 11-game stretch run that we are amidst of seeing and witnessing in person. Heck, I'll even be there in person this upcoming game on Saturday. I will be there in attendance to see what the Chiefs can do against the Texans. So that's what our questions, comments, and concerns are regarding for today's game, or for this Saturday's game, actually, I should say. Which it's weird saying Saturday. I know towards the end of the season, which is it week 16? Holy cow! It's insane how fast these weeks are going. Santa's coming down the chimney here in less than a week, so that's something we have to look forward to, I guess. But let's start off things we usually do to begin this show, as usual, is go over the injury report as we saw players on the Chiefs and also the Texans be shown up on this report. We already know Shamari Connor and DJ Humphries have officially been ruled out. We found out that about 30 minutes ago, so that's it's telling. So, I mean, Joe Tooney will be your starting left tackle, I assume so, and Caliendo there at guard. I don't want to see Wanya Morris back on the field. Unless you guys want to see him on the field, that's up to you. No, I don't personally want to. Joe Tooney probably start left tackle for the Chiefs. Like I said, Shamar Connor is also out with a concussion. But full participants: Hollywood Brown, Creed Humphrey, Harrison Butker, Patrick Mahomes, Jawan Taylor. Like these guys, they full participants. The fact that Patrick Mahomes is full participant this entire week, incredible. So he is likely. That's what Andy also said during the press conference today, was that he's likely to play. So there's that for you, knowing that it will be not Carson Wentz starting this Sunday, but it will be Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you go on to the Houston Texans side of things, there's some guys who did not practice the last 2 days. John Mechie, Flourish, their defensive tackle, Scruggs, their guard, and Cade Stover was out with illness. Those guys didn't practice, but limited practice participants was their linebacker Phelps. Joe Mixon was limited at practice, and full participants regarding Davis Mills, which I mean, Davis Mills won't get out there, but still, that's funny that he's not actually on the report. Kenyon Green and Nick Broker were all full participants for the Texans. That was yesterday. Their stuff hasn't came out for today, so I'm curious to see what we'll have seen. But for the Chiefs, DJ Humphries and Shamari Connor have officially been ruled out. And before we get to the comments, which, by the way, if you do have a comment, feel free to put in the comment section, whether you're on YouTube or on X. We will get to that here shortly. But today's a special day. Today is a day that we need to celebrate, especially around here in Chiefs Kingdom, because Brett Veach's birthday today. Happy birthday, Brett Veach. Yeah, Brett Veach is just one of these most amazing men in the world that's able to grace and grant your guys' wishes in order to, I guess, field one of the best and dominant teams we've ever seen, accustomed to when it comes to the National Football League. So here's my top 5 reasons and appreciation to why I'm so thankful for Brett Veach. Let's start with number 5. For having a money tree in his backyard. That dude knows how to manipulate the cap like it's no other. And I feel like he has a money tree in that backyard that keeps, you know what, we got as much money as possible as we need to bring whoever in order to fulfill the assignment of winning the Super Bowl, then winning the next Super Bowl, then winning the next Super Bowl, and continuing to add to that. Brett Veach is the money trees in his backyard. I'm so thankful for that. Number 4 on this list, locking up Mahomes at the right time. Can you imagine if that contract never got done and it was a 5th hour? I mean, granted, the deal would have already been done by now, but it happened in that 5th hour to where it's like, yeah, we have to get this deal done towards the later parts, or say if the Chiefs had to franchise tag Mahomes because they couldn't get a deal done. That never happened. That's something you need to be thankful for, because that ticket price on Mahomes would have skyrocketed if you would have got that 10-year deal this upcoming offseason or something like that. So just be thankful for the fact that Brett Veach locked up Mahomes at the right time. Number 3, finding diamonds in the rough, especially on defense, being able to get the undrafted, the drafted guys in there on the secondary for how young that secondary's been. And I know that's a big harp and a big gripe on us this entire season that we're saying, hey, the secondary is completely bad because there's lack of depth in the corner room. Even though we've been saying that this year, he's being able to find great and talented guys to help facilitate the role of what they need in order to win either Super Bowls or big-time matchups and big-time games. Because like last year, it's a young core. Even the year before that was a young core on defense. So the fact that he's able to find those diamonds in the rough is absolutely, truly amazing. Number 2, allowing Rocky Mangana and myself to be his fill-in host on his own podcast show right here on Foolish Club Media Network. Beach Season, I appreciate you for always allowing us to grace the airwaves there. And also, number 1 on the top 5 things I am most thankful for Brett Veach, for it being his birthday today, for existing. The fact that he's alive and well and running this Chiefs team, that's more than I'm thankful for, because Brett Veach is an absolute unit and force and stud. So I'm curious what you all have to say about Brett Veach, wishing Brett Veach a happy birthday. But with that being done and that being said, let's get to the comments that you all sent to me here. Not the right one. Where's the there we go. Right here. Love doing live shows.
Let's get to the comments.
Indeed we will, Mr. Voiceman of Steven Serta. Let's see. Let's get the first one here. Clayton. How long before the league starts finding Mahomes for these fake ankle injuries late in the season every year? Okay, I wouldn't say they're fake, because we saw how bad he was limping off the field last week, and also in the clubhouse after their victory last week. So I wouldn't say he's faking it, but my goodness, I feel like his ankles are made of Swiss cheese. I have a buddy whose ankles, he rolls his ankles even if he tries to get up out of bed. I'm hoping that's not the case here for Pat in the long run, but he does have weak ankles for a quarterback, and I'm also kind of concerned when he does play this weekend, is how many shots he's going to take towards the ankle, or if he's going to get rolled up on accident. Like, that's just because the slightest tweak, that's a shooting pain right up your leg, ankle, foot, hurts, everything. So I can only imagine what he's going to be hopped up on this entire game to get through these injuries. But no, he's not faking them. It just happens. That's just football. That's just how football is. So Cam, even if Patrick Mahomes was injured and didn't play, we could see vintage MVP Wentz. I've thought about this. I've thought about this entire week of, if we get Wentz, what kind of caliber of player are we getting out of Wentz? We saw how bad he was in Washington. We saw how bad he was was it Indianapolis? I don't think did he even play when he was in the Rams organization last year. We saw how it ended for him in Philadelphia. But this is a guy that he had an MVP-esque season. I would never count out Carson Wentz, but what the years have shown me is we can count him out whenever he is on the field. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be mad if we see Carson Wentz this Saturday, or be mad if we see Carson Wentz after the Steelers game. Or no, before the Steelers, like during the Steelers game. I don't know what, after, before, what am I thinking? Because late in the season, it wouldn't be bad to give your backup some sort of reps. I mean, we saw what Chad Henne meant to this team the last 2 years. He's able to come in on a given notice, whether it's a spot start or coming in the third or fourth quarter due to injury, or in any case something like that happen. We saw Chad Henne come in and do some successful things. I think we can see the exact same thing from Carson Wentz as well, like we saw with Chad Henne. So I wouldn't think it'd be a bad thing if Carson Wentz would have started this game. I don't at all. I could actually see the Chiefs actually truly winning the game. And honestly, I feel like the playbook would be so condensed and so simple that every single play would actually work, and on the offense would actually be clicking with Carson Wentz more than we see with Patrick Mahomes. I know that sounds crazy to say, but it's the consolidation of the playbook. Like, Patrick Mahomes can make any sort of throw. He can make any type of play happen because of how he can extend the play. I know I can't say Carson Wentz can do that now later in the latter part of his career, but he's a serviceable backup, that I wouldn't be mad seeing him play. I seriously wouldn't be. But we could possibly see vintage Wentz if he does play, but he's not playing. He won't unless Pat does get hurt. From Jairus, Wentz was out there hunting wabbits. Now he's going to be playing for the number 1 seed. I mean, didn't Carson Wentz take some Chiefs players hunting this Thanksgiving, which is pretty sweet actually. That'd be. I wish there was a camera crew. Granted, you probably shouldn't be doing that because that's how you can't get any sort of game because you got to be as quiet as possible out there. But that'd be kind of cool. They should have documented that rather than seeing old what's his nuts Aaron Rodgers talk about his ayahuasca trip or having his egotistical self have to have someone film him in order to do the ayahuasca trip, which is laughable to say the least. But yeah, grasshoppers. Which, by the way, if you do have a comment or a question or concern regarding this upcoming Chiefs game, feel free to put in the comment section in YouTube or also X. Also, feel free to repost this or also like the video. It goes a long way, and we appreciate you all for sticking with us. And also, if you haven't done so, if you ever listen back on the Apple Podcast, or even if you go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review because it will be discussed verbatim on Beach Seasons. That's a little tease there. So yeah, no, that's how it is. All right, go on to the next one. Kobe. Yeah, besides on missed third down conversions or incomplete pass, when has Mahomes else got hurt? When has he gotten hurt like elsewhere? Oh no, I understand what he means now. He's saying that he's forcing it on third downs. That's how he's getting hurt. That's how I'm interpreting this question. So that's how we're going to answer this question. He's extending the plays clearly, and knowing how Patrick is and how I would say he's about 60% successful from the times when he does extend the plays, and usually the plays that he does extend ends up becoming like spectacular. The plays that we'll remember for the rest of this season and probably seasons after. That's just what Mahomes does, and it's just throwing his body. He doesn't care how his body is. He just wants to win the game, and even if he is like physically maybe at 60, 65, 70% going into this game this Saturday, he's still going to leave it all out on the field like he is at 100% health. He will, I guess, numb the pain somehow, whether if it's through shot injections or just mentally tuning it out, which insanely, if you can do that, fully impressive. But Mahomes is just what's the right word? He's a risk taker, but it's more like the high risk, high reward factor when it comes to Mahomes. I hope he stays healthy through the entire time because the CJ Stroud Patrick Mahomes matchup just seems too good to be true to be sitting there in the stands enjoying what I'm about to watch. So I don't know. Kobe, I wish I could actually understand your question a little bit more, but I mean Mahomes just leaves it out in the field every single game. So I'd rather have a quarterback do that, knowing that he's putting all of 100% of his effort into trying to win that game. And we've seen the Chiefs have only lost one game this year. So how much effort do you think Mahomes actually put into these games this year in order to win? All of it. All of it, Kobe. All of it. All right, so the last one that was sent to me prior to the show being started is from Zeke. I think we should start Wentz. Okay, Zeke, I think you've been saying this all week. I think you were saying that you were kind of hoping Mahomes was ruled out so we can save him to Christmas Day. And you want Wentz. Makes sense. Makes sense, buddy. It makes sense. All right, let's see here. Let's go over what I think this game's going to be. The score prediction for the final game of the home stand at Arrowhead, which it's December 19th, people. Before you know it, we will be watching the first round of the playoffs, waiting to see who the Chiefs are going to play. And that's going to be coming here relatively soon. So buckle up. It's going to be a quick ride. But for the Houston Texans game, this upcoming Saturday at noon at Arrowhead, I think the Kansas City Chiefs win 24-10. I don't think much is going to come from the offense of the Texans. That Chiefs defense last week, if they come out there and they do the exact same thing that they did the Cleveland Browns, oh my goodness. CJ Stroud, you're in for a long day, whether if it's because people are getting to you to sack you or you're going to be having to roll out, force bad throws, and there will be interceptions to be made. So, 24-10 Kansas City. But that'll do it here for Chiefs Comments with Kramer. Hope you all have a lovely, wonderful rest of your Thursday. Just a couple of days. Usually 3 days is the game. 2 days. That's a big Broncos-Chargers game tonight. No one really cares about that, do they? Nah, I betted on it, but who cares? No, Chiefs game this Saturday. Good luck. Chiefs Kingdom, put a smile on your face. Be proud of your Kansas City Chiefs. You need to. Have a good one.